I was joking earlier that we went years without ever having Robbie Lawler on the show, and now we've had him, I think, 3 times in the last 2 months. Truly a media darling now. We're talking about the UFC welterweight champion, ruthless Robbie Lawler. Robbie, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about that? 3 times in the last 3 months. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention. I guess it is.
You like us. You really like us.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the job and part of what I do, right?
Yes. Well, you have some good news today. I was just informed that you have signed a multi-year deal with Adidas Combat Sports. Now, this is not the deal that you had before. This is a much, much bigger deal. Can you explain to us why?
Yeah, I'm happy to be with Adidas. It's awesome. Really, I'm going to be meeting with Adidas later on this week, and I'm going to get everything out through Twitter and Instagram. I'll be up in New York finalizing. It's done. It's just we're going to meet up and take care of business and do do something up there. But it's going to be a 2-year deal, and it's going to be awesome.
This is a little snippet from a press release I was just given. It said last year, Adidas Combat Sports engaged both Robbie Lawler and Luke Rockhold, who also signed a similar deal, in a traditional sponsorship agreement. Due to their strong commitment, superb representation, and a resulting spike in sales, Adidas nullified the initial agreement in favor of a long-term athlete partnership deal that was reached today, Monday. So you're saying, a couple of days away, kind of same difference. That's a big deal. I mean, Adidas, did you ever think that you'd get this is not, the old days of just the MMA brand. This is one of the most iconic brands in the world. Did you ever think that it would reach that point for you?
Yeah, I had no idea that when I started this sport 15 years ago that I would be getting sponsored by Adidas, one of the biggest companies in the world as far as shoes and apparel. It's just amazing. MMA has been very good to me.
Is this all part of, being a champion? Have you noticed better, bigger things happening to you since you won the belt in December?
Obviously we've been working with Adidas for a while, ironing some things out, and I think just the way I've performed the last year has definitely been huge for my sponsorships and whatnot. But I don't really pay much attention to that. I have Dave Martin does that, and Randall Allman does that. I don't really pay much attention to that. They get the deals done and kind of put them on my plate, and I'm happy to have those guys working for me.
Now, for those that may not understand, what does this mean? Because, you signed this big deal, but there's this Reebok sponsorship thing, the uniform thing, going into effect in July. So will you not be able to wear, I'm assuming not, but can you clear it up, the gear in the cage? Is this just for outside of the cage stuff?
Yeah, this is just for outside the cage. Reebok has that deal with the UFC. Reebok has a deal with the UFC. Adidas owns Reebok, so it's I'll just be paid accordingly through Reebok and UFC for fight week in the cage. So it doesn't really affect me too much except for in the cage.
Since they own Reebok, Adidas owns you, is there a chance that you may get, a buy and be one of the few that could wear Adidas in the cage? Is that possible?
I would think not, but anything's possible. Anything is possible. Yes. But as far as the deal they have in place, I'm pretty sure that Reebok is taking over inside the cage and week of the fight.
Do you feel like if that deal wasn't in place, you maybe could have gotten a bigger deal from Adidas?
I don't know. I don't really. Just it is what it is. We'll just leave it at that.
I saw you at the World MMA Awards. You received the honor of Fighter of the Year. I'm just wondering right off the bat, what was a bigger honor, that or being named the MMA Hours Fighter of the Year?
Oh, they're both huge.
Okay,
they're both huge. Let's leave it at that.
But is the victory lap over? I feel like you're the kind of guy who doesn't. You appreciate it, but you kind of want to stop celebrating the last win and move on. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, that's how I am. As soon as 3 weeks away from the fight, I was like, all right, when's the next one? Let's start training for the next fight. Let's try to get better. Let's work on things. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know better than to sit back and be too impressed by what I've accomplished. It's all about getting back to work and staying hungry and training with the guys at American Top Team. That's what's going to keep me at the top.
How soon did the UFC try to get you back in the cage?
How soon did they?
Yeah.
They asked me if I could fight, and my coach didn't really like it just because of the hard work I put in the year before. It was like 4 fights in like 9 months. It was just too much. I needed a rest, and right after I turned that fight down, or that date down, it was kind of like, man, my body is tired. So it was good. My coaches look out for me, and I'll be ready whenever the UFC needs me.
Was the date Montreal, April 25th, or was it sooner or later?
No, I mean, I'm always, the UFC's always calling to see if I'm ready to fight, and we won't really mention dates and whatnot.
Okay. Well, where do things stand now? Because, Rory is looking for a fight. He was supposed to fight Hector Lombard. He was promised a title shot. Then they gave it to Johnny Hendricks, and then Hendricks is going to fight Matt Brown. I mean, in your regard, where do things stand right now? Do you have any idea who the number one contender is?
No, I have no idea. I figure the UFC is going to get a hold of me in the next couple weeks and put something together. So really, I've just been training and taking care of some things and spending some time with my family. It's been a pretty laid-back last couple weeks for me where I could just hang out with my family and train hard. So it's been awesome. So I'm hoping the UFC will call me within the next 2 weeks and give me a date, and I'll be ready.
You're not getting fat, are you?
Oh no, I don't get fat. I'm always on a diet, just training.
Do you think Rory deserves the shot next?
Do I think who?
Rory McDonald deserves the next shot because his opponent Hector Lombard is now out. Johnny has a fight. Considering what he's done, do you think he deserves that next shot?
I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't really care. Whoever the UFC puts in front of me, I'll be ready to go. My coaches will get me ready for the fight. So it's not about deserves. It's about who the UFC is going to put in there, and that's who I'll get ready for.
Since you beat him at UFC 167, would you prefer fighting a guy you haven't fought?
No, it doesn't matter. He's one of the top guys. The top guys at the UFC are going to be ready. So the UFC will choose, and I'll be ready for either Johnny or Rory or whoever they put in front of me.
Do you have a specific month you'd like to fight in?
I'm looking towards July now. I was thinking May, but who knows? Who knows? But I'm thinking it's going to be July, but I don't know.
There was a report out of Quebec that said that you and Rory was going to happen in July. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not, but I'm hoping to find something out within the next 2 weeks or so. So I have not heard anything.
Maybe
I
international.
think the bosses are busy running shows.
That is true. There are a lot of shows. Would you have any problem if it is Roy? Would you have a problem fighting him in Canada?
No, I don't have any problem traveling and fighting other places.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we wait and see now. Now you're just waiting by the phone to get the word, right?
Yep, I'm just waiting and training and hanging out with my family.
Okay, and I understand you said you're going to be in New York. You're signing some autographs this week, right? It's at East Coast MMA Fight Shop Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Is that correct?
Yeah, I will be out there.
Great. Will you be bringing the belt?
No, I don't bring that thing around.
Why not?
I don't know. It's heavy, and I don't really. I mean, I'm pretty low key. That's just kind of. I mean, just not something I do is bring my belt around everywhere.
Your old friend Tim Sylvia used to party with that thing. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. But that's him. Everyone's different. Everyone does stuff a little.
How many
whatever.
times? How many times have you taken the belt out of your house? Do you even know where the belt is right now?
Yeah, it's in my closet.
It's in your closet.
It's in my closet.
It's not even out there for the people to see who come to your house?
No. Everyone who comes to my house knows me, and they know what I've accomplished, so I don't really need it, out and about. I don't really have anything fight-oriented out in my house. Everything's in closets and tucked away.
Wow. You don't have, a mantle for it? Are you going to put it somewhere at some point? You just haven't found a place, or that's where it belongs, in your opinion?
No, I mean, it's an awesome... something awesome that I've accomplished, but I don't feel like I need to see it every day.
Interesting.
When I'm at home, I'm a dad,
right,
and a husband. I don't feel like that's something I want at this point in time up and around my house.
I respect that. Congratulations on the Adidas deal, And good luck in your next fight, whenever it is. I'm sure I'll talk to you beforehand, but best of luck to you. Thanks for the time, Robbie.
Yep, thank you very much.
All right, there he is, Robbie Lawler. So both Robbie Lawler and Luke Rockhold signing new long-term deals with Adidas Combat Sports. This was the release that was just sent to me moments ago. Robbie Lawler and Luke Rockhold today signed landmark head-to-toe deals with Adidas Combat Sports, the combat sports division, for training equipment, clothing for boxing, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, judo, karate, taekwondo, period. Lawler and Rockhold are the first athletes in history to join Adidas Combat Sports in a major long-term athlete partnership. A little more. Adidas Combat Sports two-star athletes Lawler and Rockhold will wear the iconic three stripes from head to toe. Lawler and Rockhold also will use Adidas gear in their daily training regimen, including MMA competition gloves, MMA sparring gloves, heavy bags, focus mitts, training pads, wraps, and gear bags. Something that I found was very interesting about this, I read it quickly. Where is it? Once again, just as an FYI, if you are in the New York area, Lawler and Rockhold will be at the East Coast MMA Fight Shop on Orchard Street in Lower Manhattan, Lower East Side, from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time this Thursday. So how about that? Signing some autographs, the champ and one of the top contenders in the middleweight division. I read something interesting here about, this is from Scott Viscomi, the managing director of Adidas Combat Sports USA. Robbie and Luke's tremendous professionalism and dedication to Adidas Combat Sports over the last year resulted in a tremendous jump in our Q4 2014 sales. We're already a year ahead of our revenue goals. Robbie and Luke engage in the promotion of Adidas Combat like they do in their own training. They have been a force in establishing Adidas in the combat sports market so quickly. We are pleased to have this deal in place as a result of the true team effort between ACS USA and Chris McGuire and his marketing team, etc. So that's interesting. Resulted in a spike. How about that? A few years ago, if I would have told you Adidas, Reebok, Nike to a degree, they're kind of getting out of it now. Under Armour, a lot of big names. It has evolved. The sport has, from a media perspective, from a fighting perspective, from a business perspective as well. Being on Fox, all that stuff. This is just another example. That'd be interesting if the Reebok deal wasn't in place. I can understand why he didn't want to touch that, what it would have meant for fighters like Luke and Robbie, but it no doubt gives them a little more credibility, I think, in the sports business world, being affiliated with those three stripes. So congratulations to them, and appreciate Mr. Lawler for his time. Appreciate his time today. Thank you for stopping by.